What's good with y'all niggas, man? Welcome back to another reaction video on the channel. Make sure y'all niggas like, comment, subscribe. Definitely follow my Instagram in the description. Follow my other channels as well. On the road to 10K on all of them, for real. This is a crazy ass video. USA's most wanted man. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Like I said, let's get it. Spy whistleblower stranded.
This is the most wanted man in the world. He's been charged with espionage, hunted by the government since 2013, and now he's been given Russian citizenship by Putin himself.
Damn.
This is the US government's public enemy number one.
Wait, hold up. So he a nigga that... Damn. Wow.
Welcome to Explained.
Welcome.
On June 6, 2013, a series of reports by The Guardian and The Washington Post rocked the world. Top secret documents detailing the NSA, aka the National Security Agency's activities, were leaked by an unidentified source.
I was just about to
And
say, what the hell
Americans
is the
found out
NSA?
the US government was spying on them. 3 days
Hey, believe it or I know this ain't got nothing to do with the video. Believe it or not, Washington, D.C., one of the most dangerous cities in the country, for do not get shit fucked up. Just like how I'm telling y'all, y'all go to L.A. and y'all think L.A. sweet. Nigga, don't you know most rappers die in L.A.?
days later, this man came forward. Edward Snowden. A 29-year-old high school dropout whose computer abilities were Snowden. A 29-year-old high school dropout whose computer abilities had landed him jobs with the CIA and with an NSA contractor.
I've been a systems engineer, systems administrator, senior advisor for the Central Intelligence Agency, solutions consultant, and a telecommunications information systems officer.
What the fuck?
But in his short time with the NSA, he discovered it had dangerously overreached itself.
When you're in positions of privileged access, like a systems administrator for these sort of intelligence community agencies, you're exposed to a lot more information on a broader scale than the average employee. And because of that, you see things that may be disturbing.
That's where all y'all niggas pictures be at. They keeping all your history, all that up in these motherfucking drives right here. So when you think that picture
over
gone,
the course of a
it's
normal
not.
person's career, you'd only see one or two of these instances. When you see everything, you see them on a more frequent basis. And you recognize that some of these things are actually abuses. And when you talk to people about them, in a place like this where this is the normal state of business, people tend not to take them very seriously and move on from them. But over time, that awareness of wrongdoing sort of builds up, and you feel compelled to talk about it.
The material Snowden came across exposed an almost limitless government-run surveillance program. Since then, he is wanted for one of the most significant national security leaks in US history. But what exactly was in those documents? For starters, it revealed the NSA had a secret program called PRISM, a system that gave the government a backdoor to access private user data from companies like Google, Apple, and Facebook.
I could have told you that.
It also had a secret court order that allowed it to collect telephone records from millions of Verizon customers. This included not only criminals, but law-abiding citizens as well. Then, there was an 18-page presidential memo showing Obama ordering intelligence officials to come up with a list of overseas targets for cyber attacks. And all of this was just the tip of the iceberg. The NSA was hacking computers in Hong Kong and mainland China, a few of which were military systems. It also tapped the mobile phone of Germany's chancellor at the time, Angela Merkel. It even showed that Britain's Government Communications Headquarters, or GCHQ, was conducting mass surveillance of its citizens. Not to mention, both the NSA and the GCHQ had discussed methods of deception, the use of propaganda, mass messaging, and stories on social media to influence people the way they wanted. The list was endless. In fact, national intelligence officials believe Snowden had downloaded nearly 2 million files. Before we go further, hit that like button and subscribe to Explained. But how did he sneak out sensitive documents from a top-secret government facility? Well, he didn't use any sophisticated hacking
future
software
reference.
or devices.
That's what y'all should do to
Believe
me.
it or
Show some
not,
love.
all he used was thumb
Subscribe.
drives. But that doesn't mean it was easy. Snowden had to plan the leak and his escape carefully. He had 3 things working in his favor. Number 1 was his location. Snowden was contracted to the NSA by a company called Booz Allen Hamilton. He was based in Hawaii, 5,000 miles away from the prying eyes of everyone at the NSA's headquarters in Maryland. He was also 6 hours behind them. So while most people had left the office for the day in Fort Meade, Snowden's workday was barely halfway through. Number 2 was the thin client system. Snowden had access to the NSA headquarters servers via a computer system called Thin Client. It basically gives users access to specific types of files based on their profile. But the setup was outdated, and Snowden was no ordinary user. He was a systems administrator. So unlike other NSA users who had restrictions on the classified information they could access, Snowden's high security clearance gave him more privileges. At his level, he was the auditor. He could pose as any other user, access the NSA's intranet without leaving a digital signature, and literally function like a ghost user if he wanted to. And so,
If he wanted
Snowden's
to,
job
but he
profile
didn't.
was factor number 3. As a systems administrator and analyst, he had the authority to use thumb drives. He could literally copy information from one computer to another without raising any suspicions. After working for just 4 weeks with the NSA in Hawaii, Snowden decided it was time for the world to know what they'd been doing. But he knew no one would believe him without any proof. So he downloaded the documents without raising suspicion and cleverly snuck the thumb drives past security. The next day, he asked for a leave of absence without pay, and then extended it by saying he was suffering from epilepsy. But when he stopped answering calls and didn't return, the authorities suspected something was wrong, and the NSA began looking for him. By then, Snowden had made his way from Hawaii to the safety of Hong Kong. He met 2 trusted journalists, Glenn Greenwald and Laura Poitras, and gave them the story that would change the way people looked at the government forever. Snowden's leak sparked debates about the NSA's secret powers all
If
over
they
the
catch
world.
this nigga,
I
he
called
is
for
done.
a thorough review of our surveillance operations.
He was charged with theft of government property, unauthorized communication of national defense information, and willful communication of classified intelligence to an unauthorized person.
They make up shit.
And despite the US's efforts to extradite him from Hong Kong, Snowden managed to get on a plane to Russia. Initially, he was granted asylum after Putin said that Russia had no extradition agreement with the US. But he did say Snowden was wrong to reveal US secrets.
Что касается возможной выдачи куда бы то ни было, то мы можем выдавать каких-то граждан иностранных государств только в государства, с которыми у нас есть соответствующие международные соглашения о выдаче преступников. С Соединенными Штатами у нас такого соглашения нет на территории.
Snowden
Bro, what the
tried to
fuck
seek
is he
asylum
saying?
in other
Even though I
countries
can see
too.
even though I can see the subtitles, what the fuck is he actually saying? He's like a German.
With no
I know
success.
it's Russian, but
I applied for asylum in 21 different countries, all throughout Western Europe and other parts of the world. And all of them tried to avoid giving an answer because they didn't want to say one way or another, or alienate the United States government by taking a public side against them.
He was also willing to
I'm
come
just
back to
saying.
the US under the right circumstances.
I've made it clear that I'm always willing to return home. I would return home tomorrow as long as the government was prepared to be reasonable and protect the interests of our rights in society.
How would you describe the government's
nigga, you
reasonableness
exposed the
in this
government
case?
for
What would
all
you be
that shit.
looking
Did they finna
to
just
from
let you come
them
back?
for you to
Fuck no,
return?
dummy.
Well, so far they've said they won't torture me, which is a start, I think. But we haven't gotten much further than that.
But it's something you're actively, or you and your lawyers are actively discussing with the government, I assume.
We're still waiting for them to call us back.
Eventually, he was granted permanent residency in Russia in 2020. And in September 2022, Putin gave him Russian citizenship.
Right before we were coming on the air,
so
Edward
this just
Snowden,
happened.
we found out, is now a Russian citizen. President Vladimir Putin signing a decree.
Over the years, Snowden has done several interviews to explain how our phones spy on us and how they can be tapped.
Nosy Smurf. What's Nosy Smurf?
Nosy Smurf is the hot miking tool. So for example, if it's in your pocket, they can turn the microphone on and listen to everything that's going on around you.
Some people look
Nigga,
at
we
Snowden
knew
as a
this. Look, we knew this.
traitor.
The micro Smurf is the
They could be tapped.
Pegasus spyware hacks phones.
Nosy Smurf. What's Nosy Smurf?
Nosy Smurf is the
Nosy Smurf. Remember these names, y'all. Nosy Smurf.
hot miking tool. So for example, if it's in your pocket, they can turn the microphone on and listen to everything that's going on around you.
Some people look at Snowden as a traitor, but millions believe he's a hero for risking his life and exposing the US, UK, and its allies' unwarranted mass surveillance schemes. What's your take on Snowden's leaked documents? Did he save democracy and make things more transparent? Or should he have just quit and not leaked anything? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to Explain.
I'm actually gonna keep all my comments to myself. Nah, but for real though, I feel like the shit he leaked, we already know, bro. You know, people, you know, quote unquote conspiracy theorists. We already knew this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit ain't nothing new. We just like, okay, whatever at this point. Like, this is the country we live in, you know? And so you can physically get citizenship in another country, continent, that's not doing this janky shit, then shut the fuck up. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe for more videos. Follow my Instagram in the description. Follow my other channel in the description as well.